Hello and welcome back to Building the Wall. This is my Beetleweight shuffling hammer saw, and today I'll be putting together the assemblies from the previous videos into the frame of the robot. Starting off with the tub, this is a single TPU print with a compartment for the battery and a 1/2 inch thick wall in the back that helps mount everything together with all these holes. Then on the front is a 1/2 inch thick piece of UHMW, it's an 1.5 inches tall, and it has heat set inserts on the bottom for M4 screws, and it just takes 3 of them to hold together. So I'll go ahead and attach those all together. Now that we have this all put together, we can bring in the arm assembly. This all just goes right in the center of the robot here, and is held in by 4 M4 by 20mm screws, and 2 M4 by 16mm screws in the back, and then 5 M4 by 8mm on the bottom, with these standoffs that just go right through the uprights of the hammer assembly. And I'll go ahead and put that all together. Alright, I've gone ahead and attached the hammer assembly into the frame. I've also gone ahead and put in the AM32 ESC for the Repeat Max, and that threads under the arm over here and into the battery compartment. This lives over here due to space restrictions on this side of the robot. There is quite a lot of spaghetti over here in the final assembly, so I had to put one ESC over here, and it just so happened that I had enough wire on the Repeat Max to put it over there. So that's all there. Then we'll bring in the shuffler pods. Shuffler pods are going to screw into either side, from the front, the bottom, and the back later on once I put the armor on. These just go on either side right here, and I'll get to assembling all those. Alright, I went ahead and bolted in the shufflers. It's held in by 1 M4 by 20mm screw on the front, and 4 on the bottom. These are 4 M4 by 12mm on the bottom. And then I've also gone ahead and threaded the wires for the right side drive motor over into the compartment for the rest of the wires. So now I'm going to bring in the ESCs and everything else that will live over in this section of the robot. Now it's time to wire the robot up. That begins with a Repeat Robotics dual ESC for brushless motors. I've already gone and labeled each side. We have the left side and the right side. They just connect into MR30 connectors for easier repairs. Go right there and right there. The next part is the power distribution board. It has a single female XT30 connector with 3 males on it, and that will plug into the power switch over here. And then each ESC is going to plug into a port on this board to distribute power to everything in the robot. So we have all those. Then lastly, we have the weapon ESC. This is a 45 amp weapon ESC, just a generic one, and it has wired up an MR30 connector for the weapon motor and a XT30 on the other side to connect to the power distribution board. And then lastly is going to be plugging all of the ESCs into the receiver. This is a FS2A 4-channel receiver. They're pretty affordable and sold by Repeat Robotics and Just Cause Robotics, as well as plenty of other places online. And they're very small, and you can wire them the other way for the pins to make them even smaller. I've done that on the other version of it. This one is one of the older ones I had. And that will just plug into all of the connectors on the ESCs. Alright, I've gone ahead and compressed all the wires down into the left side of the robot, as well as connecting all the ESCs to the receiver, which means we can move on to the top plates. There are 2 distinct top plates. There's a right side and a left side. The right side is held on by 3 M4 by 8 screws, and the left side is held on by 4. And the screws just thread into these standoffs located throughout the robot, the 3 on the middle section on the uprights, and then 2 on either side for the shuffler pods. So I'll go ahead and screw those on. And now with the top plates on, the only thing left to cover is the many armor configurations of the robot. Thank you for watching, and be sure to catch that part next.